Okay, so let's create the boat, which is a simple shape that I use to start a lot of my head drawings with, especially if they're manga. So we just put a line for the top of the head, we create a line for halfway through the skull where the eyes are, and then we measure down, and this is where the chin is going to be. So roughly speaking, you want two equal sized sections there. Then do a center line. And then what you can do is you can just put a couple of guidelines for the width of the head. And you're going to start here and going to come down on an angle like this, because the chin part of the head is going to be thinner than the top of the skull. So this will be the top of the skull up here. The chin will be here like this. And I don't know if that fully looks like a boat, but that's what I imagine in my head, is that this is a little boat with the front of the boat like this, little rowboat, somebody's sitting there and they're rowing the boat this way, and we're a bird looking down on it. So I just call it the boat. If you've got a better name for it, put it in the comments. Alright, and that's how I start. And then I'll just do something like do a 7-line eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's, we are putting in the placeholder shapes for the features. And then just do the nose, put a line for the mouth, and maybe a little lower for the mouth. And depending on how young the character is, I'll even chop off more of the chin. So if I want a really cute or young looking character, I'll make the chin even smaller, like that. But I'll start off with equal and then design the character from there. Put in the eyebrows, put the ears a little lower than normal. So maybe instead of starting the ear at the top of the eye, I will start the ear in the middle of the eye, like this. Okay, do the neck, the shoulders, etc. And then from there I can do the hairline and then put in the hair and then put in the details for all the features and stuff like that. So that's basically the boat. And now we're going to get to our main sketch. Okay, so in this video we're going to do a little manga sketch, and I'm going to show you how I use a thing that I call the boat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay down a couple of guidelines here for the size of the head. So that'll be from the top of the head to the eyes, and then from the eyes to the bottom of the chin. I'm going to do a little center line here, and let's see, make these guidelines. Okay, so the top of the skull, let's say, is going to be that wide, and then we'll just draw a line inwards down here, angle it in for the chin, and hopefully that's about the same. Yep, that looks all right. And then we are going to make the classic pointy manga chin. Maybe I'll make this a little wider. I think that would be better. Just like that. Okay, so we'll get rid of that, get rid of that. There we go. Now we have the basic outline for the head, and this is going to be the top of the head. So we'll curve the skull in something like that. So I don't know if you see what I see, but I call this the boat, because basically I pretend I'm looking down on the ocean, and there's a little boat, a little rowboat, and somebody's sitting in the boat, and they got their paddles, and their boat is going this way because they're paddling. And yeah, so I call this the boat. If you got a better name for it, just send it to me. Put it in the comments. All right, now this is going to be the halfway line, so this is going to be where the eyes sit on. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a 7-line eye, and I've got a video for how to do this. So this is about the simplest way I know how to put in an eye. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's a shine, so there's 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the pupil is 6, and the shine is 7. Now I can add in all the details I want after that, but that's a good placeholder eye for now. And let me see, so then we're going to put in the eyebrows. We'll make them nice and high. Put in the nose. Little tiny manga nose. So eyebrow to the nose is this height here. And then the chin area is going to be much smaller. So there we go. You can see it's much smaller. And then from the eyebrows up to the hairline is going to be smaller again. So the biggest area is going to be from the eyebrow to the nose. And then we'll just put in a nice little happy semi-smile here. Just like that. And then we'll put in some ears here. And put in the dragon in the ear, if you know what I'm talking about. All right, and add a little width to the back of the skull. There we go. Nice thin neck. Shoulders. And we'll put the collarbone right here, like that. And they go out, of course, to the shoulders. And then the sternocleidomastoid, I think it's called. Anyway, the neck muscle that we see and helps us turn our head. And maybe we'll just put some kind of collar for some kind of shirt that this character is wearing. All right, but the most important thing is this boat shape that we started out with. Because once you have that in and you find the halfway point and you put the eyes right on top of the halfway point, well, now the whole picture's laid out and everything's easy from here. Okay, so all the placeholders are in place, and now it's just a matter of how much detailing you want to do. All right, so to put in the hair, I'm just going to put in some basic bangs and some high pigtails. So hair isn't flat on top of the skull, it poofs up a little bit. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an upside down bowl here, like this, for the bangs. And I'm going to separate the hair a little bit. And I don't know if you know the 30-70 rule, or the 60-30-10 rule for splitting the hair up into chunks, but that's kind of what I'm thinking here. And then once we have that, we can extend strands of the hair down here like this. Okay, so we started off with a bowl and then we added some strands to it, and then we can put in the high pigtails here like this, and some kind of scrunchie here. And again, it's just doing placeholders, not worrying about any details yet. That, maybe putting a little bang around here, something like that. Maybe adding just a little more volume on top here. like that. Okay, and now we have everything in place, so now we can get into some details here. We'll maybe craft these eyes a little more. Put in some lashes. Okay, maybe make those a little thinner. And then on the bottom lid, just put in a couple like that. Make this a bit thicker. Put in the crease on top of the eye. And I'm not worried too much if I have everything exact, because when I ink this, we can fix things as we go. And all right, let's do some details on that. So we got a highlight here. We'll match it with a smaller one over here. And let me see. Okay, so we'll fill all this in. Make that black area. Maybe shade in this a little bit. Okay, that's looking fair enough. Maybe we will smooth out the jaw just a little bit here, like that. And maybe put some shadow on the neck here, like that. Okay, so now it's time to get our handy dandy brush pens out here. So I like these Pigma Sakura. This is a fine brush here, so we'll start with that. And let's get right into the eyes. If we can conquer the eyes, everything else is easy. It's very soothing to ink. At least I find it very soothing. Okay. I also like these. I don't know how to say that. Heathrown? Maybe. Anyway, a little thicker brush. Okay. You can see that I don't follow the original pencil lines exactly. Whatever I feel, whatever comes into my mind as I'm doing it, that's what I go with. Good or bad. And one thing I think I'm going to do is shave off some of this chin here. So let's go with that. I think that's better. Now we may have to do some surgery here, but we'll figure that out later. There we go. And let's get that long side bang going here. And by doing this first, then we don't have to worry as much about the ears because a lot of it's going to be covered up. Save us some work. And I think for these scrunchies, I'm just going to put a little highlight at the top and then black it all in. Something like that. So we'll get the bigger brush pen out here. Something like that. And let me see. I think I'm just going to fill them all in. There, I think that's better. Okay, let's make the chin a bit thicker here at the bottom. Nice. Okay. And the collarbone. And the neck muscle. And then the shadow under the neck. Let's do that. And there we go. Show some ear here. And that's about all we're going to see, except maybe a little bit in here. And show a little bit of the ear over here. Okay. All right, let's get the rest of the hair going here. And I guess we better put in the shoulders here. And we'll drop these pigtails behind. And let's say this top has a wide, whoop, that's a mess. A wide neck like that. And here we go. Let's, whoa, wrong end. Let's get this out here. And I think we're just going to darken this in. Yeah, I kind of like that. And I think if we thicken this line over here, then maybe I can get away with thickening it over here and fixing that mistake. Not my favorite solution, but that's all we have time for today. Yeah, I definitely like those thicker lines, thick to thin. And see if we can fix this. And just make that a bit thicker. And thicken this. Okay, so not perfect, but a lot of fun. Okay, and it all comes from just that simple boat shape. So that's what I want you to remember at the start of the video. And then magic time where we get our handy dandy eraser, and I always like to just erase between my thumb and my pointer finger, so that I don't crinkle the page. Okay, so there's how to use the boat. Simple, easy. And that's it.